revise this one. Okay. Now to see this one here, introduction. What is the relation? What is a function? So in this topic, in this class, we're going to study the only relation, and function will be discussed the later. Now, just a minute before going to, okay, now we'll do one thing. Most of the students have the doubt before starting the class. I will agree, but now I'm not ready to give the chance now. Last 5 minutes I'll give the chance because it will be getting the disturbance to the other student. Whatever the doubt, I'm ready to answer, but not now. Last 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. So now to see this one. What is the relation? Already I told that the relation. What is the definition of the relation? Let A and B be two non-empty sets. Non-empty set. The relation is subset of Cartesian product A cross B. Okay, what do you mean by relation? A and B be two non-empty set. That relation is subset of the Cartesian product. What do you mean by Cartesian product? Already we know that. What is the Cartesian product means? Each order pair, first element should be coming from the first set and second element should be coming in the second set. Yes. I'll take one example. Let A equal to some element 1, 2 and B equal to A, B. Okay, I'm taking this example. Now, what is A cross B? Okay, A cross means the first element should be coming in the first set, second element should be in the second set. So 1, A, 1, B, 2, A, 2, B. So these are Cartesian product. In this Cartesian product, what are the possible subset? That those all subset we call it as relation. What we call? We call it as all those functions, means all those relations, we call it as a relation. We can take any subset of this A cross B, those all the sets we call it as a, that is a subset of the relation, that is A cross B. Means whichever the subset will come under the A cross B, those all the relation we call it as relation. Means whatever the subset will come, that all the relations subset we call it as a relations. Okay. Please note down this example if you want means. Okay, no need to worry about the notes. After finishing this one, I'll share to this PDF file to in our WhatsApp group. Okay, please note down. So I'll be going to revise once again. A cross B is a Cartesian product. In that Cartesian product, whichever the subset will get, those all subset, we call it as a relation. Okay. Now move to the next slide. And first element, already we know that first element we call it as a domain of the function or relation, means of this relation or function, and codomain is second set, and whichever the element is pairing with the another element, that all the elements we call it as a range or second element of the each order pair, we call it as a range. Next, so after this one, we're going to discuss the types of function. So in the types of function, we have only two types of function. So first one is empty relation. Okay, first one is empty relation. Second one is inversal relation. What do you mean by empty relation? Means the relation R in the set A is called the empty relation if no element of A is related to any other element of A. So what is that? Let us take one set element A and another also A only. Okay. After this result is empty set. Okay. There is no element. There is no element in the A cross A. So when you are defining the relation, we want the two set. First set is A, second set is B. But here both the set is A only. In the empty relation, both the set will be A only. Means A cross A will get the empty set. Okay, there is no any element is exist. Then normally we call it as a what we call it as an empty relation. Based on this one, I'll give the example. No need to worry. Next, see the second inversal relation. A relation R is a set A is called the inversal relation. Means if each element of A is related to the another element of A, means whatever the inversal relation, all the possible results we have to make it on group. Means whatever the result is possible, that all the result we call it as normally okay. So just a minute, someone is asking the doubt. Not doubt, that is different from doubts. Okay, wait just a minute. Okay, don't worry about the this one. I'll share this PDF this one. Try to understand the concept here. Okay, now to see this one. Just a minute, someone is disturbing. I'm going to remove that student. Okay, now to see this one. Okay, now someone is disturbing. Oh shit. Just a minute, students. Okay, now it's fine. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, now I hope you understand this one. What is empty relation and inverse relation? Empty relation means no output is exist in generally. Means there is no any other element is exist in the output. We call it as normally empty relation. How to denote this one? Just how to remember this notation. So in the examination, they will ask them maybe one more question. What is empty relation means? This is very, very important. Where A is a non-empty set and this notation is very, very important. And for the inverse relation, this notation is important. Okay. Now, based on this one, I'm going to give the example. See here an example. Let A be the set of all students. Let A be the set of all students of a boys school. Show that the relation in A is given by R equal to A comma B such that A is a sister of B is called the empty relation. Now they given the A is. What is the A is? All the boys. Only for example, it is all the boys means maybe B1, B2, B3 up to N students are there. For example, boys. If B1, B2 are means they are the brothers, but not the sisters. Therefore, what is the A cross A value is nothing but A comma B, and A is a, sorry, what is it? A is a sister of B, is it right? So this is nothing but empty set because A and B is not a sister because A and B are the brothers. Therefore, empty relation. This relation we call it as an empty relation. A relation is defined, but element is not exist. Yes, a output element is not exist means normally we don't have any output. Then we call it as an empty relation. Empty relation is what? There is no anything. Yes. So this is an empty relation. Next, they given the R dash. This is the R value. Now they given the R dash. Now to say here R dash. R dash equal to A comma B such that A and B, the difference between the height is less than 3 meters. Try to understand this one. A comma B. It is an empty relation, you can write. It is a empty relation. First one. Second one is A comma B. Whatever the R dash A comma B and the difference between A and B. Heights of the different. What is about this one? Difference between A and B. A and B is less than 3. Less than 3 meters. Okay. So now to see this one, we call it as the inverse relation. Yes or not? Yes. The difference between the A and B as 3 meters means how many meters will be there? Maybe 3 meters or more than 3 meters. Why? Because you can take any, for example, one person will be there is a 6 meters and one other person will be there for 4 meters height, for example. The difference always 3 meters is exist or not, all the possible ways. So it will exist the all the possible ways. So therefore, it's a possibilities will be there for each element. Yes. So therefore, this whatever the relation, all the possible elements we can take. So this one is called as a inversal relation. Yes, all possible outcome it will come here in this all dash. Yes. Okay. So here A and B is a less than 3 meters. Now what is the A and B means? They given that A and B are the boys here. A also boy, B also boy. Their difference of the height. What is the difference of the height is less than 3 meters. Okay. Why is they asking the one, less than 3 meters means one thing is very clear. One more concept. Most of the person, it is not crossing the 3 meters. Maximum is what is the height is our height is for example 7 inches. 7 feet means 7 feet means around it is less than 2 meters only, 2.5 meters maximum. It is not more than 2.5 meters. So all the boys is less than 3 meters means their difference also less than 3 meters only. Yes, heights. Yes. So any person never reach the 3 meters. So no person not reach 3 meters means obviously it is 2.5 or 2.8 meters maximum, I think. Most of the, in case of above 3 meters means it is only some hypothetical it is, not in general we call it as. More than 3 meters also will be exist in the world, I'll agree. But I'll agree that more than 3 meters person will be exist in the world, but in hypothetical that is one I have to ignore inversely. Okay. So therefore, all the possible it will be all the boys, the difference of the height is obviously less than 3 meters. Therefore, all output is possible here. So then what is the conclusion? R dash is a inversal relation. Yes. Next. Okay, please note down. We are moving to the next slide. So what is your give the reason means I have tried on that. So here the boys, the height is never reach above 3 meters. So obviously the difference between the A and B is always less than 3 meter. Therefore, what is the conclusion? R dash is a inversal relation. Okay, please note down. I move to the next slide. See, the next one is another function will be there. Okay, here the relation, not different types of the relation. It is a types of relation. Another thing it is. Okay, Krishna Bharadwaj. How to read the inversal relation and like how to denote it is. Okay, it is very simple. I'm going to write this one. Here you can write R dash equal to, what is the R dash means? The difference where A and B are the boy, it is a boys, where is very clear. We mentioned that A and B are the boys, it is very clear. So A minus B, I'll take the modulus. Why I'm taking modulus means A and B is when there's a negative value or positive is always positive is less than 3 meters. For every all boys, for all boys means you can write for all boys. Yes. So all the student or all the boys you can take. So it's always less than 3 means what is the conclusion? All the possible outputs is exist. Can write. Therefore, all possible outputs are exist. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Therefore, can write R dash is inversal relation. Clear? Okay. So these are notation of the this one. For the first one, R value is we got it very clearly. It's empty relation. By seeing answer only, you can write conclusion is it is an empty relation. Okay, move to the next slide. See the next one. A relation R in a set is called. Okay. The first one is reflexive. Okay. What do you mean by reflexive? First, I have to see this one. A relation R in a set A is called, means the relation A we call it as a reflexive means when the relation will be there, that relation we call it as a reflexive means and the set A, then it is a condition. What is the reflexive? A comma A is belongs to R for all value of A. What does that mean? Means I'm going to substitute in the given relation. For example, I'm substituting the value will be 1. Our output should be get 1. If you substitute 3, our output should be 3. If you substitute 4, our output should be 4. Means what we are substituting will get the same thing. That a relation we call it as normally reflexive relation. Reflexive, symmetric, and transitive is very, very important. This complete second year portion is depend on this definition. I have to remember that. So if you thorough with the reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, then only you can easy to understand the complete chapter. And 100% will give the guarantee. One question they will ask in the annual examination as well as board or whatever the examination they'll conduct on the based on the relation. They'll ask the one question on reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So reflexive means I said very clearly what you are substituting will get the same set, means the same element. And one more thing, in the relation definition, it should be contain the two set, A and B. What is your first set? A. What is the second set? Second set also A only. I have to remember that here. In the reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, always have to remember that first set is the first element is coming from the set A. Second element also is coming from the set A only. Okay, just have to remember these things. Now, Okay. What is the reflexive means? Just have to remember that. I'll give the example of the reflexive, symmetric, everything I'll give that. Yes, Chinmay, it is a cross A. A cross A means first element also A and second element also A. And like a constant function, Krishna number is not a constant function. Okay, now. So reflexive means I'm going to substitute here one element. Output also A only. If this condition will satisfy the given relation, this relation means what is this one? Belongs to R. This relation will exist if, then R we call it as a reflexive. First condition is very clear. Second one, symmetric. Symmetric means what? If A1 comma A2 is belongs to R. If A1 comma A2 belongs to R. Belongs to R means whatever this implies, we'll discuss later. First have to see A1 and A2 is belongs to R. A1 and A2 is belongs to R means what? A1 and A2, that will be a condition satisfied in the given relation. It will be satisfied, it belongs to the given set relation R. Then only you're going to the second one, whatever this one, A2 comma A1 is belongs to what? R. Means if this condition will be satisfied, then this will be exist. If this one also both this condition will be exist, we call it as a symmetric. While solving the problem, I'll explain. Ramita S. Raj, I think. Okay, I'll give the example. So next it is all the problem only after this definition. Okay, I'll give the example. First try to understand the definition of the symmetric and everything. Third one, whatever the third one is, if A1 and A2 is belongs to R, and here A1 and A2. Here A2 means again let's start from A2 only. A2, A3 belongs to R, then A1, A3 first element to last element. A1 to A3 is belongs to R. Okay. Now A1, A2 is belongs to R, then A2, A3 is belongs to R, then A1, A3 also belongs to R. If this condition will be satisfied, then we call it as a transitive. Therefore, R is transitive. Okay, try to understand in the transitive. First, you should be satisfied this first condition, then second condition, then we'll come to the third condition. Before it is satisfying the first two conditions, we can't able to go for the third condition. To remember that. First, those two conditions will be satisfied, then only come to the third condition. Okay, so no need to worry. While solving the problem, I'll explain each and everything briefly. Okay, please note down. I move to the next slide. If you want, you can take for just notes for emergency purpose. If you want, you can take the screenshot. After finishing the class, I'll share the PDF. Okay, move to the next slide. A relation R in a set is called the equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. What is the equivalence relation? Equivalence relation means these three conditions will be satisfied. Means in the given relation, it satisfies the reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Then we said to be an equivalence relation. It's very simple. Most of the question paper in the last year, they asked that define the equivalence relation. So in such case, after write on that, the given relation satisfies this symmetric, transitive, and reflexive, we call it as a normally equivalence relation. Okay. Now I'll come to the one example. Let T be the set of all triangles in a plane. Then R is a T. Okay, R is relation in T is given by congruent. Now to see here R is a relation. What is the relation? R contains the triangles. If you want, you can write. See R. This is R value. For example, see this one. If you get confused, I will try to avoid this one. Here triangle. This is a T1 first triangle. This is a second triangle T2. This is a third triangle T3, and here the fourth triangle T4. Like it will be, how many will be there? I don't know, but it is a finite. Okay, so it is a finite triangles are there. Here, what is the first condition here? To prove the reflexive, what is the reflexive condition? To show that is equivalence relation. Equivalence relation means first have to show that reflexive. Is it right? Reflexive, what is the condition? If A1 and A1 is belongs to R, and for all A is coming from the set A. Here in place of A, I'll take the T only. Now I'll take the T1 comma T1 is belongs to R or not. Means any triangle, it is a congruent itself. Yes. What is the T1 T2 relation here? Try to understand this one. T1 and T2 is a congruent relation. Means if we satisfy this one. So T1 and T2 is belongs to which set? R. R is nothing but the relation here. So T1 and T2 is belongs to R. Then what is the conclusion? So I've tried on therefore every triangle. What is the conclusion? Every triangle congruent itself. Every triangle congruent itself. T1 comma T2 is belongs to R only. Why? Because T1 and T2 are the congruent triangle. Yes. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Therefore, R is what is R is? Reflexive. R is reflexive. Second one. Next one, I have to check this symmetric. Okay. Now, see this one. If T1 and T2 are the congruent, okay. If T1 and T2, I'll take the congruent. Means if T1 and T2 are congruents, then T2 and T1 are also congruent or not. First, I have to see first triangle, second triangle are the congruent. So tell that. Now I'll come to that. Second and first triangle is congruent. Can I say yes? So T1 and T2 are the congruents means then T2 and T1 also congruents are congruents are also congruents. Also congruents. Therefore, what is the conclusion here? Very clear. R is symmetric. Okay, next third one is transitive. Transitive. What is the transitive condition? Here I'll take that. If T1 and T2, to check the transitive, we want the minimum 3 triangles. Chinmay, what is the congruent triangles means very simple. Area, length, everything will be equal. Names only different. Each and everything, it will be equal only. Only names only is different. Okay, I'll give the more example, Chinmay. Okay. Now to see if T1, T2 is belongs to R. Here, see here T1, T2 is belongs to R. That means what? T1 and T2 are congruent. I'll write as in the notation. T1 is congruent to T2. If, okay, sorry, and T2, it will start by T2 means it will be, here it will be end by T2 means it will start by T2. Here T3 is belongs to R. Then T2 is congruent to T3. Now to see, T1 is congruent to T2. T2 is congruent to T3. Then T1 and T3 is congruent or not? Yes. So T1 and T3 are congruent. So therefore, what is our conclusion? R is it satisfies the reflexive, symmetry, and transitive. Therefore, it is a given relation is equivalence relation. Equivalence relation means it should be satisfied three relation. This three relation, if any relation will be not satisfied, then it is not a equivalence relation. Clear?